So it's Monday morning, we're actually going to be fast forwards in the week. Last week, I ended up having most of the week off. Come in on the Monday, felt like shite on the Tuesday, so decided I was having the rest of the week off. Yeah, it's not very good, but I needed it, and I needed a couple of days to sort some shit out. With my head, mental health, it's up and down. But it's real, innit? Do you know what I mean? And we've got to sort things out in life, so it is what it is, but we crack on. So I'll take you back to the Monday where I done my little video part, see where we were at, and then from there, we'll then go on to what's happening today and where we are up to. So let's go to Monday. So it's Monday lunchtime now. Lads about to have the dinner. And so this morning we got a delivery for a fire bar, only a small one. And there's only one, and there's 40 off, and it just doesn't work. And obviously I can't make my own one because it's got a shrink and it's a fire bar, it needs to be spot on. So one of our old pat makers that we used to use years ago has got in touch. 1 minute. Yeah, just turn my mic on. So one of our old pattern makers that we used to use has just got in touch a while back. So this lad had a firm, he had his own pattern making firm where he had 7 pattern makers working for him at one point, which is unheard of now. Most pattern makers are probably one-man bands, or some foundries have got their own pattern makers in-house, which is absolutely pointless, in my opinion, depending on obviously the size of your foundry. For us, it's absolutely pointless. It's easy just to give the bat makers the work. But Fred, he's called Fred, and he's 76, and he loves it. He just does it, get his money for his holidays. So I've been up, took him the pattern that we had. He's going to make me another 3, so I can put 4 in a box. So all I've got to do is make 10 boxes. Where if I've got 1 in a box, it's just going to take me forever, isn't it? So I should be able to complete the 10 boxes in a day. Of moulding wise, which is fantastic, and that's what we want to do. You want to be more efficient, and then I'll just have to spread the pattern cost across the castings, and it is what it is. But it's otherwise it's not financially worth it. Obviously Friday I said we might cast, but I had to shoot out because I needed brakes for the van. Bought the wrong ones, but while I was out the lads cast, so they cast the cast iron, wasn't it? So the brake rings, they're not knocked out. And that the plate's knocked out, which has come out looking spot on, headquarters, and 1 ring. But we've also got an order of the crusher plates. So David's been making them, and I haven't filmed them unfortunately, so you can't really see what's happening. But there's 2 sets, so there's two sets and there's 2 castings to a set, so there's 4, but these are compacts, and I'll show you. So here's the jobs. So 1 in there done, 1 in there done. That one's just been straight out the mould and then shuts it. There's another one in the mould there. So I'll show you what all the moulds look like, and then you can see sort of the castings. There's 1 mould. Should be another one somewhere. And there's the other mould in there. So you're just going to have to wait and see what the castings look like. But the crusher plates, got to make them nice and hard as well, so I'll probably put a fair bit of chrome in them, harden it up. We've also got a couple more of our motored little jobs on, the control box and a couple of lids. And there's a little lid somewhere. Steve's been busy with all of the wagon parts, so they're all done. Well, a couple more of them done, get them done for tomorrow and get them out. But they haven't sent me an order of it yet. So, it is what it is. But we crack on and we move. And I'm sort of stuck because I want to work, I want to do moulding, but at the same time my finger's not fully healed. I'm back in on Friday, but with it being sand and chemicals, yeah, and I wear gloves and this, that, and I don't want the chemicals to get in my finger. So I don't know what to do. It's stressing me out, but it is what it is. But let's crack on and see what happens. Hopefully I'll show you what the moulds look like, so you can see, because they look quite cool. But I haven't even took a photo or nothing, so it is what it is. But let's crack on. So we've now seen what happened on Monday. I can't even remember myself, so if I repeat myself, I'll repeat myself. So now this week, so we were doing the crusher plates. Crusher plates are now cast, which I will show you in a minute. We also cast some LG4 gearboxes and lids. They are actually in the machine shop. So after last week's video where we were talking, is it right, should we do it, should we not? I am carrying on with it. You've got to fail to learn. And you've got to, do you know what I mean? We've got to learn as we go along. Branching off and doing this is obviously something that I personally want to do and something that I want to take the business to. So I have to do it. And I want to do it. And the customer's happy with it. And we might win more jobs because we are doing that. So in the long term of the picture of the business, yeah, we can make more money, but we can win more jobs because we're providing that service. So I personally think it's a fantastic idea. So I'm going to do it. So yeah, so they are there round there now. So hopefully we get them back maybe this week or next week. I don't know. Paul is actually off as well, so we are man down. So obviously man down with me off last week, so man down with him off. He's off for 2 weeks. He's in Crete. No, he's in Greece somewhere. I don't know. He's already been on this morning. It's too hot. But I've got a load of jobs on the floor, and I don't know what's in them. I really don't. So I don't know what's in them. Don't know what's in them. It is what it is. We were talking, I don't know, I think I mentioned I went up and took some fire bars to one of the pattern makers because we got the order of 40 of these fire bars with only one pattern. Well, I know they're ready today, so I'm going to go up there today, go and pick them up. So now we've got 4 in a box, which works 10 times better, more efficient, and better on our part. Yeah, our customer doesn't actually know about them, but they won't mind. What I'll have to do is just spread the cost over the fire bar, over the cost of the fire bars. I think it will work out about £8 extra per fire bar, which is not too bad. But that is a lot cheaper than us doing one at a time. So the first batch and the first order of these ones will be a little bit more, but then once we've done them, we're sorted, you know what I mean? We've got them patterns, so we can drop the price, which is fantastic, and that's what we've got to do, and that's how we're going to do it, is all making things correct and doing things efficiently and proactively. And you might think, oh, it's a bit mad, but it is what it is. We also had the Discovery chassis for blasting. So I'll show you what it did look like beforehand and what it was looking like once it was done. That has gone out, customers made up, come back on his trailer, picked it up, and that was going for Galvo. It took a lot less time than we expected. Sometimes it can be a bit complicated because you've got to turn them around, fit them in. Obviously we've got to do it half and half because we need a bigger blaster. I've been saying it for years, we need a bigger blaster, but we haven't. So it is what it is. So that's done, customers beam. The chairs have finally gone. The chairs have gone. Excuse all that mess. But spindles are still here. I'm gonna have to chase that customer over them pulley wheel things. It wasn't that because the prices, I think. So, but you can't do them for nothing. But they're still here. Also add some wheels, nice little bracket. Obviously the fireplace, look how rusty the fireplace is, because that's cast iron being blasted, and that's steel being blasted. How quickly, obviously that's been oxidised for ages, but look at the difference. Shows how quick things can oxidise. But it is what it is. So let's have a look at the crusher plates that we actually cast, as well as the crane wheels that we've done. Where's the crusher plates? We've got top and bottom, 2 sets. Obviously got all the little grooves and all that in. Looking lovely. And there's the other one that that one sits with that one, so that one it'll sit inside it, and then obviously it crushes. I believe it's going to be crushing rubber. Look at them. They look boss, don't they? Quite happy with them, you know. As like how cool they look. Imagine them as like a nice worktop or something, and then you fill it with resin. You know, like a table. I get creative at times. We also got a couple of other castings that we've done. So we got this little gear for one of our customers. Oh, my finger. I'll tell you about that in a minute. These little dog heads, or lion heads, as well as our motor casing boxes. So we got the flange things and the box, which is obviously got a core in it. So they're all going. See if this light works. So this is the little mess room. So we got the big gear wheels, rope wheels, pulley wheels. They are all ready to go, as well as the little ones. So I'll have to call them and tell them to come and collect them. They're all paid for. Some customers are on pro forma. Payments up front before the job's done. It's just over the years, so we've had a problem or chasing payments. Sometimes you've got to do it. And it works. Don't get me wrong, it works. And it is good to get the payments up front. Most customers aren't. There's only the odd couple. But it is what it is. Obviously payments, I do go on about it, but as a small business it's tricky, do you know what I mean? We've got a lot of bills. Especially energy, don't get me started on that. Because I'll be here all day moaning. Because if we had a bit of help with the energy, but we just seem to like get penalised. But it is what it is. But yeah, so today I don't actually know what's on and what's not on, because obviously he wasn't in on Friday, don't know where David was up to. But obviously I've got to get these fire bars, which we've got to get 40 of. And obviously I've got to sort everything else out, which is great. Finger got discharged. It doesn't look too bad now. It's a bit grim. It is still fractured. It is very sensitive because the fracture's on the end of my finger, but it is what it is. There was a big bit of dead skin, and it was my little finger was flicking it because it goes quite long down. So I had to pull it off. Got told I shouldn't have done that by my sister, but it is what it is. You got to do what you got to do. But onwards and upwards. Let's see what happens. See how we get on. We'll have a look at these patterns, because these are off a pattern maker that we haven't dealt with for a long time. My desk is full of paperwork, so I've got loads to do. Well, let's go. Onwards and upwards. So it's Tuesday, and we got the fire bars yesterday, and we started making them. We are 6 boxes in. But what we did notice with the fire bars, with the boxes that we're using, which are these, we noticed that we could actually add 5 into these boxes. And we're like, oh, we should have got 5. And I did say to Paul when I went to take the pattern up to one of the pattern makers, let's measure it, let's see what boxes we can get. Paul only wanted to get 2 new patterns, where I said, well, no, let's get 4 because the order's for 40. And it's only 10 boxes. But in terms of 10 boxes, so my sister actually come in yesterday. 1 minute. Oh, my sister come in yesterday, and she was like, well, why have you done that? So I had to explain, so I'm going to explain to you. 1 box, one fire bar to make 40. And let's break it down. For example, it takes an hour to make a moulding box and do it, blah, blah. Finish it off. Let's say it takes an hour. And let's roughly say £50 for the hour. So that's 50 times 40 to make that order, which, let's get my calculator, because I'm not good at maths anymore. Wasn't anyway, I'm dyslexic. It is what it is. So 50 times 40 I've done that the other way around. 50 times 40 is £2,000. Quite simple. Should have knew that, shouldn't I? But let's say that's £2,000 just to mould them. But now we're doing 4 in a box, which is 10 boxes. And that's only £500. So that's a saving of £1,500 just by getting 3 new patterns. Roughly going to cost, what did I say, £8 overall on each pattern, on each casting. Let me make sure that's correct. Yeah, so we'll put £8 to cover the cost of each. So it's about £300 roughly, so £7.50, so £8. Obviously, you've got to do me running up there and getting back, and so let's just say, for example, to make it easy, it was £500, and it's £500 to do them all. That's still a saving of £1,000. Do you get where I'm coming from? So, as much as it works, and then imagine the saving though now because we've got that, so the next ones will be cheaper because I don't have to charge and cover for that pattern cost. So in the long term and the short term, it still works out cheaper for the customer by getting a couple of new more patterns. So what would you rather do? So you put in the comments, would you rather me carry on making one, or me taking control and decide, no, I think it's more financially worth it for us to get you a couple of new patterns? Put it in the comments. Let me know what you think. For me, it's a no-brainer. And we're keeping hold of these patterns for more in the future, so we know they're going to come back on, and I know we're going to be able to save the customer more money, which is great. So at the end of the day, I want to try and make the best quality castings we possibly can at the best possible price and with a quick turnaround. So them patterns have took us a week to get them back. We use a range of different pattern makers. That's why we don't have them in-house, because in-house it's just another wage. It's not financially worth it. And number 2, it's quicker and easy enough to get them. There's pattern makers still up and down the country that we can still use. I know there's a couple of pattern makers that are going, and this lad's obviously quite old, but he's done a great job, and that's what it's about, isn't it? So we're cracking on with them. So we've got another 4 boxes of them to do, but we're running out of mould coat, or gravy. You might be onto it as I call it, gravy. So I've actually ordered stuff, so I don't know when it's going to come, but it's not going to be gravy. I'm getting it off our old supplier. It's a bit more expensive, but me and David, obviously, we're doing the moulding, etc. We're not that keen on the gravy. But the fire bars is the only job we've got on. We've got more jobs coming. Them aluminium keys that we've done. We've got more of them coming, but they are going to the customer first, because the customer's, he's got his own little foundry, but he can't do them as quick as and as good as what we can. But he's going to do the cores because his is gas set, where ours is air set. So he's going to make all the cores because he can make them quicker. And I told him, I said, it takes too long for us. I said, there's no money in it. So he's going to do the cores. So hopefully, if he gets them today, then again his lads are a bit, ideally I'd like them tomorrow. So, and then we can make them. It's going to be, I think there's a possibility of 4 different types. So I don't even know. So what we'll do, I said to David, put a big bench out, put them all on, bang, 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 just ram them up all at once. Make them dead quick, make them dead easy, make more money because we're doing them quicker and better. Yeah. At the end of the day, and I do say we want to try and do them as cheap as possible as we can. But obviously I'm going to price per job. So if I can do more jobs quicker, we make more money. As simple as that. And it's better for us. At the end of the day, you're out in business to make money, but it is what it is. So that's really what's going on. Crusher discs, I rang the customer. I've not dealt with that customer. So I've basically said I've not dealt with you before. I've got no paper today, I'll leave it, it's all over the phone. So I said, listen, you're going to have to pay up front. Jobs are done, pay them, come and get them. Also rang the customer for them spindles, said, listen, lad, you need to come and get them. I need paying for them. I was also debating to put the price up for storage. We've been sat on them, and it's doing me head in, but it is what it is. So we'll crack on. I found out roughly what's in these jobs that are on the floor. What's in all of these. There's some of them discs and there's some also little jobs. The ones that were in here, it was there's a little thing about that big, like a little square thing with a little tapered bit. And he wanted 24, and he gave us one pattern. But David's he's managed to mould them, so we'll have a look once they're done. But obviously I can't show you now because they're in the mould. But that's mainly it. That's all I'm expecting for today. 5 bars. Hey, anyone got any work and you want to do, get in touch. We'll be happy to give you a price. Let's go. Onwards and upwards.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thursday, and yesterday you would have seen the cast iron, the fire bars and a couple of discs. That's what they are, and that's what I found out. So we've got to knock all them out today. First thing this morning, obviously I'm in, do my little video. But yesterday we also, the aluminium jobs, you know, the keyholes, the ones that we done last week and shown you, the back again, we did say that, but there was meant to be 4 patterns, so flew up to the fellas yesterday, which is St Helens, so it takes me about half an hour from where we're based. So I got there and he went, oh, because he was doing the course. So I got there and he went, yeah, there's the one you're doing. I said, 1. I said, I'm not coming all the way up here to just do 1. So I did manage to get 2. So we've been making them. So there's the ones there, David's done, but they're not finished as of yet. We've got to open them all. And I've been doing these ones. So this is what they look like. There's the mould. So this is the one. So this is the one I'm doing. So it's on a board. But look at that. It's so square, it doesn't come out the mould properly. So if you look carefully, see where the sand's broke off on the edges? Like, see that bit there? Should be on there. So obviously when you're getting it out the mould, it crumbles. This bit here is core print with the 1 core box, which is just absolutely useless. So here's the little cores that we've got to make. Look how small they are. So obviously they sit in, and there is an actual pattern, a detailed pattern. I don't know if that's going to show you that. Obviously that creates the edge and the other angle. Here's the other one, look, this has got a thing coming off the top. It's got 1 core box, bit bigger, but he's made the cores. And here's the other one, look, same again with the little groove. But years ago we used to make a thing for this customer called a sinker, and it was a 450 kilo weight, goes in the ocean, as telecom lines or something, and then obviously goes from country to country, and there what you put the lines through it as an eye bolt, gets dropped off the ship and just sinks to the ground. And we used to do them. So he has someone else do them because they were cheaper. So I said to him yesterday, and they've ordered 20. So I was like, if you're ordering 20, you only never ordered 20 of us. So I went, well, I'll give you a price. He went, no. He said, well, how much is theirs? I said, he just said something like $9.20. So I'll do for 9. For 20 off, do you know what I mean? But he's having none of it. And he said, well, he shouldn't have lost it in the first place. He used to get $2 for them. But it is what it is. But we also had pipes in for blasting. Didn't get any photos of them, because that was while I was gone up to him. We had some girders in. They were painted grey and they needed to go for galvo, so we've done them. Also a couple of more wagon parts, but I need to get onto these because they owe us some money. Got to chase them, so I'll keep them hostage. Obviously there's a bit more blasting there off one of the other powder coating firms. So obviously today got to finish these, but we're also ordered some more aluminium, so that's coming. Only 100 kilo. We've ordered more of that for these. We've also got a newer mould coat, a bit more expensive mould coat, but it's a premium one. Does all materials, non-ferrous and ferrous, but it's a better one. I think it's the one we used to use before we used the brown stuff. So obviously the brown one we call gravy, and this one we call blacken. So I've ordered that, and some degassers for the aluminium as well. So we've got to knock the fire bars out now, and then see how they are. Also got a customer coming today as well. About old. Obviously, we were waiting on aluminium, that came. And we were also getting the new mould coat, which I thought was going to be like our old one, which was called Blacken. Obviously, we've named them, so we have Gravy, which is the brown one. We have Blacken, which was the grey black one. But this one was like white. White like grey. So we need a name for it. So if you can give us a name, put it in the comments so we know what to call it. Because in my head I was going to call it Mayo. But we started, obviously, we cast the jobs and we've knocked the jobs out. These are the ones I was making. So once I finish them, I'll show you what they look like. And these are the ones David was making, so we've got to finish these as well. So we've got to clean them all up, fettle them all up, down and blend them in. Steve also finished the castings, the iron. So we've got fire bars, there's 40. And we've also got these donuts. So they're all done. Also got, the fella came, you know about the spindles? They've been here for 6 months. He come down and he hasn't taken them, but he's brought us some shot blasting. So we've got a full set of a garden. So we've got 3 long panels, 2 driveway gates, and a miniature panel and a side gate which is in the blaster. So that's going to be Steve's job. He's going to be doing them this morning. Well, today. So we'll fettle these jobs and we'll see how we get on. We finished the castings, fettling them. So before I show you, don't forget, give us a like, a comment, a subscribe. Appreciate everyone who comments as well, that helps us out. You know who you are. I made up, to be honest. That's funny because I got a little email. I'm thinking, who's emailing me? But nah, made up. So I'll show you the castings. So we've got the green, the red and the black. That's what they were labelled. Finger ain't half, so. So this is the first box. They've come out sound, haven't they? It's hard to tell, innit? But obviously you got your groove. They were off that pattern. So let's go and have a look at the ones I was doing. The ones that didn't have the calls made for us. Got some better lighting on in here. And here they are, look. Come out sound. Obviously a lot of filing has been done. I've got to open that where it's crushed. But one thing, my fingers aren't half sore using them files. A lot of work. Steve has also finished the gates, which are all done. So that's the end of the week. It's now 2:20, and I think I'm going to call it a day. It's Friday. Why not? No one else is here apart from me and Steve. So let's go home. Don't forget, come back tomorrow. Not tomorrow. Next week. See you later.